This is a step-by-step guide on how you can relocate to Australia as a doctor without an agent. So in our previous video, we answered one of the questions that we've been getting of why Australia. And in today's video, we are going to answer the most asked or the most frequently asked question: how do I come to Australia as a doctor? The Australian Migration Program plan for 2022 to 2023 has increased their spots, and they have over 100,000 spots for skilled migrants. So if there's a time that you should be considering coming to Australia, it is now. And in this video, we are going to do a step-by-step guide on how you can relocate to Australia without an agent. There are several pathways in which you can take to come into Australia as a medical doctor, but in today's video, we are going to focus on the standard pathway. Other pathways include the specialist pathway, the competent authority pathway, short-term training pathway, but in today's video, we are going to specifically focus on the standard pathway. Step one, obviously, you have to finish your medical degree in an accredited institution. Once you're done with your medical degree, you need to do your internship, that is your PGY1, and then you need to open an EPIC account. An EPIC account is an electronic portfolio for international credentials. Basically, what EPIC does is confirm with the university, yes, this person studied here and graduated, and then they are going to generate a report, and this report is going to be sent to the medical board of the country that you want to go to. So step one, open an EPIC account and create an EPIC portfolio. At the same time, open an AMC account. After your credentials have been assessed and you're deemed eligible to sit for your exams by the AMC, go ahead and now book the Part 1 exam, which is the AMC MCQ exam. The venues available for the AMC MCQ exams are also available on the website, that is the AMC website. Sit for your Part 1 exam and pass. Only after you've passed AMC Part 1 is when you go ahead and do the AMC Part 2. The AMC Part 2 is the clinical exams. Previously, pre-COVID times, the AMC Part 2 been done in Australia physically, but nowadays you can get either a physical spot, that is do your clinical exam physically, or you can now do it online, so you do not have to travel to Australia to sit for your clinical exam. Let's get interactive on the socials, and for more information, please follow me on Twitter. My handle is right here. I'll be dropping a very detailed thread on the step-by-step process of how you can relocate to Australia in 2022. Once you've completed the AMC Part 1 and AMC Part 2, it is a requirement for you to do English tests. Either use the IELTS or the PTE or TOEFL, depending on what is available in your country. So this is a requirement by the licensing authority or the Medical Board of Australia for you to pass an English test with a certain score. Now, once you're done with all that, you're now ready to do job hunting or job search. So there are two ways to go around it. You can either send an expression of interest to the hospitals or the health systems that you're keen on or you're interested in, or participate in a campaign that happens annually, and the positions that you're looking at are RMO positions or HMO positions that are usually advertised either on seek.com or indeed.com, or you can go to the health systems website, Go to the career pages and look for the job vacancies that are available and make your application. As an RMO, you're going to do 47 weeks mandatory rotations, and the rotations are in the core departments, which are the medicine department, the surgical department, and the emergency medicine department. This you're going to be doing with your limited registration. Then after that, you can apply for general registration after you have satisfactorily finished the 47 weeks mandatory supervision rotations. After doing your applications, now you wait for your interviews. The types of interviews are two types, where you can have, of course, online, but where you can have a pre-recorded interview, or the other option, you can have an online one-on-one interview with your employers. After you're successful with your interview, this is the point whereby the employer sends you an offer of employment, and it is at this point as well where the employer will do a sponsorship for your visa and will facilitate your APRA registration for your limited registration. You've gotten your employment, that is, you did your AMC Part 1 and you did your AMC Part 2 and you were eligible for provisional registration. You got an offer of employment which you accepted. At this point, the employer will facilitate visa, and they will also facilitate your APRA registration, that is your provisional registration. So with your provisional registration, you're still going to do 47 weeks mandatory supervision rotations, which are the medical, surgery, and the emergency department rotations, either 47 weeks or 12 months rotation. After this is now when you get your general registration. However, there's another option whereby you can do your AMC Part 1, do your English, and then seek employment. The seeking employment part, which is what is a bit tricky since you do not have AMC Part 2, and most jobs will want you to have the AMC Clinical exam, that is the Part 2, but there are some few spots where you can get a job with AMC Part 1 and English test, and here you're going to be eligible for limited registration, still go through the process of 47 weeks mandatory supervision rotation or 12 months mandatory supervision rotation, and during this time you're expected, or you're supposed to sit for your AMC Part 2, or you can get into a WBA program, and like I said, there are very few spots for this, so your best bet will be doing AMC Part 1, AMC Part 2, be eligible for provisional registration, get a job, and with this you can get a job anywhere in Australia, rural or the metro areas, anywhere you'd like. After finishing your 12 months is now when you get your general registration. With this other one, you're limited to getting jobs in very few areas, and these areas are mostly in the rural, remote areas, because that is where they're in desperate need, and there are the few people who are going to pick you with your AMC Part 1. Also, you're competing with so many people who have done AMC Part 1 alone, probably have more clinical and medical experience than you have. So the best bet again would be doing the AMC Part 1 and Part 2. So your employer is going to do a visa sponsorship under the temporary skill shortage scheme, where you're either going to be sponsored for a 482 visa or a 457. The visa varies with different organizations, the length of your contract, and where you're going to be. So you're either going to get a 482 or 457. I'm sure there are other visa options out there, but the employer is going to advise you on which visa that they are eligible to sponsor you for. Information about the visas that I mentioned is available on the DHA website, that is the Department of Home Affairs Australia website. It has detailed information, that is the cost, what you're allowed to do with the visa that probably the employer is going to give you, and so much more. Once the visa is granted to you, now it's time for you to travel and come to Australia. When you get to Australia, the APRA, that is the licensing body of Australia, would need more documents from you, and again this will be facilitated by your employer. So once you get to Australia and then you report to work, there's more paperwork that you're going to fill, and that's it. That's how you start working in Australia under either provisional registration or limited registration, and you're going to work 47 weeks or 12 months mandatory supervision, and then after this is now when you can go ahead and now apply for your general registration. So that's it on how you can relocate to Australia as a medical doctor. Thank you so much for watching till the very end, and if you found any of this information helpful, please feel free to share with your friends. Let's get interactive on the socials, and for more information, please follow me on Twitter. My handle is right here. I'll be dropping a very detailed thread on the step-by-step process of how you can relocate to Australia in 2022.